Copy.
So we have about 90 minutes left on this Tectonic Turtles 12 to 4 shift.
That one went in A.
Thank you.
If anybody else sees a rock of interest, let me know.
Yeah, and also what we'd like to do is keep an eye out for something similar to that red trail that we saw leading up to that soft coral. That might have been a stoloniferous octocoral that hasn't been seen before, at least on this expedition. So we would want to collect it.
We can go back and look for that guy. It's only like a vehicle length to our left.
Is that all?
Yep.
Yeah, it's really close.
Okay.
Yeah, see this smear on the nav screen there? Zoom in a bit for him, Kate.
Pardon? Yeah.
Zoom in on the nav screen a bit.
So
See the smear right here, Steve?
Yep.
So if you want to put the front of the vehicle on that smear.
Okay.
It's like 6 meters away, if that.
Do you recommend a heading change for this, or just ladder in
Yeah,
at the moment?
I would.
It's a possible collection, Emil?
Yeah, but only, we would need to probably pick up the rock that it's on, because I don't think it'll come off easily. I don't think we could scrape, scraping it would probably damage it. So we'll get a look at it and then keep an eye out for something similar on a rock that could be collected. I seem to remember that being on a large boulder.
On a very large
boulder. I don't think it was collectible.
Yeah. It would.
Does it look? If anybody sees anything familiar looking.
We'll see the red soft coral should stand out.
So in this nav screen, which part of?
So see my finger over here?
Yep.
That smear, you want to put the little ears over that smear. So
is there a certain part of Herc that you look at to kind of figure out which one's actually like?
Yeah, the front of it.
Oh, I see the line. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see the green line where you've been.
Okay.
So yeah, if you kind of lateral right now.
Copy that.
Come down a bit too. If you hit the seabed, you're too close. It's acceptable to come down and kind of bump a little. You're not really landing, but you can tell when you're making contact, you'll see the camera. Jump. These rocks look familiar. I think it was... There's the little stocked dude. We looked at him.
That was the one that got away.
Yeah, so I want to say it's to the left of that a bit.
I feel like we were looking into that wedge between the two rocks, the two really big rocks. Maybe up there, yeah.
Yeah, there's also a suggestion that it was
I think it was
below
behind.
the massive boulder.
Yeah.
Low.
Yeah, I want to say it's to the left a little.
Is that it right there?
No, that's looks like a black coral.
You can also see your footprint there where you landed, or where we played around in the rocks. Maybe come up just a bit there.
So it should be on that boulder somewhere.
On the big boulder.
That's what we're getting from a scientist ashore, but
I'm not so sure. I think it's back and slightly to the left. That's my.
Yeah, I think it's a previous boulder.
Yeah, that's my recollection.
A look-alike boulder.
Is that what your spidey senses are saying, Dan?
Yeah, it seemed like when we came up, we drifted to the southwest a bit. So.
Okay.
So we're giving up on this boulder.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Yeah, if you kind of try and, that's a good depth there to where we can probably spot it. You just kind of lateral back and forth there.
Oh, there's the chitin.
Chitin.
That's
Yep.
the chitin.
So I think it's just a little bit more.
Further to my left.
I think so. Maybe down a little bit as well.
Down slope.
Yeah, if you keep going to your left and kind of change your head to the right, well, it'll put us back on our original path where we came in.
Copy.
You see the line there on the
Yeah,
nav where
yeah.
we came in. So if you kind of, you know, try and come in on the same way again, then
Copy.
you're likely to recognize, or the other 50 people watching are likely to recognize the things that they saw previously coming in. So I keep sliding to the left now and kind of have a southerly heading. Maybe start coming forward a little bit.
Yeah, I think we passed it.
Maybe to your left a little more, nice and slow. Bring your head back to the left. So I'm going to click in auto heading for you now.
Okay.
Oh, it's already on, yeah. So don't change your heading now, just sweep back and forth, and that's probably good there. So if you kind of come forward on that one.
I see.
This is
Back on that line.
so this is recreating our original track as we came in. Nice and slow. Maybe start sliding to your right just a little as you're coming in. Is the red X our,
I think approximately, yeah.
yeah, so maybe lateral left a little more, and Kate's got a red X there for you.
Based on the nav fixes, not really on the actual
1% of water
rocks.
depth, so
Yeah.
that's a big X.
Yep, exactly.
We're probably better than that, I would imagine. Oh, that's probably good to your left. You can come forward maybe
This isn't ringing a bell.
half a vehicle length. And so what's in the top of the camera right now, you can put in the bottom and then slide to the right again.
I think the technical term for what I am right now is lost in the sauce.
Needle in a haystack.
Coral in a rock pile.
Totally.
What's this?
That could be it.
Where do you
Right
see it?
here, right there.
Oh,
Wow, nice spot.
yeah, really great spot.
Eagle
I see
art.
the little pink trail.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the part
Oh,
that was
that's it.
disturbed.
Oh my God.
I missed my video
re-
chair monitors.
Oh.
Well, we might need you back in there to get some really close.
Yeah, can we get a sweet seat
So
swap when we
come a
get
little
there?
closer, Steve. Forward a little. Put it halfway between the lasers and the bottom of the screen.
Roger.
So these things are hard to
And
remove
then,
with
sl-
tweezers
slowly come
in a
down
lab,
there.
so we're not going to be able to get it off the rock, but we could get a good look at it.
And then gently hold some down thrust in there, and I'll adjust your camera for you. It's better on the buttons.
Eagle
over
Eye
here.
Andrea.
Whoa, yeah.
Got the spot.
Wow.
Yeah, good job, Andrea.
Thanks for your patience.
Yeah, thanks everyone. That was a team effort. Okay, Gabby. Yep.
Yeah, that was good use of the navigation aids there. I think I do see polyps on the
Yeah,
stole.
there's definitely
Okay.
polyps.
Oh, wow.
Or whatever
Oops,
those
sorry,
little
sorry.
pink bubble gum things are.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it. Take him. Push in a little more, Gabby.
I mean, those look too big to be the pink floaty things that we
Yeah, and
keep
is that full
seeing.
zoom?
You pushed all the way in, Gabby? You can zoom in a bit more. Yeah, it's full zoom.
Okay.
So what are we looking at? The trail?
The trail
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
actually, see how there's
stolen.
two little bubble gums
Yeah.
spots? That's an organism in and of itself.
Wow.
Oh, that's so wild.
Separate from the soft coral.
Oh, no.
Also, I think on the underside of this rock, there's a chitin responsible for the trail on the top of it.
And there was interest in a mucus funnel on the rocks below us here. After we get a good look at.
You want to see?
So we are fully zoomed in?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Do you want to try to inch closer?
We can try and get.
Yeah,
Closer,
maybe just
yeah.
a little closer.
Yeah, okay, Gabby, you want to zoom out a bit for Steve there? And what we'll do, Steve, I'm going to tilt the camera down a little to give you a reference on the front of the vehicle.
Sure.
And you're going to want to try and, if you hit that rock, you're too close to it. You want to try and get as close as you can without hitting it. Yeah, a little more. Okay. Perfect. Okay, Gabby, try again. Let me see if I got any more. Is that full zoom there, is it? That's all we
That's
got.
full.
Okay. Well, we've documented it visually. If we see something like that on a loose rock, we'll sample it.
So the little bulbous guys are the ones making the red line, or?
They're growing out of the red line. They're
Oh,
attached to it. So stolen is kind of like a tubular branch
And they're
that
completely,
polyps will spring out of.
they're a baby soft coral, or they're a different organism?
They're different. Yeah, it's a different
Wow.
coral. So the soft coral is just kind of saying, hey, look, it's over here. But, all right, so
Okay.
supposedly there's a mucus tunnel on the rocks that are
Yeah.
below Herc right
Okay.
now.
Zoom
We're
in
able
a
to
bit,
back
Gabby.
up.
Roger.
I'm not familiar with mucus tunnels.
If you just let go of that vert now, Steve, and you'll float up a bit.
And we want to go back, is that right?
Yeah, let her float up a bit, see which way the current takes you there.
Are they the spiderweb things?
They're yeah, fibrous. Let's see here.
Okay, set her down there a bit.
Steve, what's the way to mute just my mic here?
If you
Are
flip
we?
up on the one that says mic below it.
Are we in the right place?
Oh, yeah, I see
I
it.
think this is the right place. Yeah, look for something webby.
Can zoom in just a bit, Gabby.
Yes.
There it
Something
is.
yellowish.
Gotta zoom out a little bit. It's right at the bottom,
Oh, okay.
right there.
Yeah,
See it?
I see
In
it.
between.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe there's something living around that or in it.
Okay, zoom in there, Gabby.
This is the cobweb stuff we've been seeing on
Yeah.
the cruise.
Yeah.
Someone's going to tell us what it is now.
Well, it's a mucus tunnel,
Sweet.
but I don't see. Yeah.
Is it the lower one you're interested in?
Yeah.
Or the-
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, the other one looks like a sponge skeleton.
Okay, can push in a bit more if you got it, Gabby.
So does this mean I'm too hard on the verts with all the sediment in the air?
And now it's Probably
That's
the
everything.
auto heading killing you. Let me, that's all right. I can.
Oh, that's
Might be something moving in there.
I fixed it. Don't touch your right stick for the moment. Sometimes it'll move around a little, Steve, and it'll settle in.
Roger.
Not seeing
Finds it finds its home. What's happening? The verts are reversing there, so the back one is blowing into the hill a little bit. But
just give it a sec here, see if something moves.
are you full zoom, Gabby? Roger.
Okay. All right, I think we've given a good look. Let's continue moving south.
Roger.
Sounds great.
You ready for a zoom out?
Zoom wide, please. Thanks.
Yeah, I think so.
So there's something similar that was
Fine,
seen
okay.
earlier with something moving in it, but nobody knew what it was. Didn't see anything in
So
that
if
one.
you just bump in just a little bit.
So thanks for your questions. Still coming in on nautiluslive.org. We picked up a couple rocks there, and now we're going to continue on our way on our 13th and final dive of this expedition.
You probably want to come back around to that southerly heading you were on.
Roger. So I'm
I'll turn Argus back on here and come around to match. Should be able to see yourself again.
Getting a big thank you for backing up and finding that again.
Oh,
That was pretty good navigation.
now you know how I feel over here.
That's what I do. Now I'll see you figure out how they work. I've sat over there before.
He doesn't need to sit there.
So
He
once Steve gets out there in the halfway in the Argus screen there, severely ground faulting Argus screen, we'll kick the ship into gear again. Hopefully it'll still be working.
do we have the same option we had yesterday?
What's that? Yeah, we could, but that's...
Are you guys ready for that next
Right.
move?
We are ready. That's a good distance there, Steve.
Bridge, nav.
You got that 20-meter box there on the nav screen.
Roger that.
And
so what's the
you're in the
Can
middle
we
of the
move
box there,
100 meters, bearing 180?
So 20 meters ahead of Argus is a good spot?
Yeah, roughly. Those are two different references you're getting there, and you're probably like see how your tether is stretched out there,
Yep.
and then you see these. You'll see the
Ooh,
Argus camera
okay.
start wiggling around,
It's a cool,
and over
Is it a
here you'll
jelly?
see the
yeah, maybe a
thrusters
Tina
on
4.
Argus kick in and trying to maintain the heading, so that's you tugging on it. The other references, you want those, if you can see them, the two floats to be floaty in the catenary there.
Roger. I feel like we've lost our buoyancy.
What's that?
I feel like we've lost our buoyancy.
Did Dan sneak that giant rock onto the porch when we all weren't looking?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
If you need to drop a plate.
Right now there's trim set, and this knob here will adjust the percent of vertical down. So if you turn that down a little to like 20%.
Okay, now we're...
So it's constantly, those little red lines there are thrusting the vehicle down at 20%. And depending on it, like when we're flying flat or we're trying to do zooms, we keep some trim on there, and that
that's
doesn't
wheel
let
here.
the vehicle float up as fast. Yeah, that's that
wheel.
knob there, yeah. And minus is thrust down, which I can never remember. I gotta diddle it every time to... I'll often...
where on the screen is the trim? Where am
it's the Z bias.
Z bias minus 20. Okay.
So, and this button here will turn it off completely.
0 Z bias, makes sense.
So if we're going up a steep hill or something, we're going fast, I'll turn it off. But if we're just cruising along, it's...
Roger.
Or if I want, like I say, all that authority for my laterals and horizontals, I'll turn it off. I want that last 20% to...
So all the power is shared.
Yeah.
We could go with 0.5 knots again.
Roger. Lighten the afterburners.
Bridge, nav. Can we increase our speed to 0.5 knots?
That'll take about... Kate's got it timed, I think, 3 minutes or 5 minutes before you see that.
It's about 3 minutes at this depth, maybe a tiny bit less.
We could zoom on that Walteria sponge in the meantime.
Go for a zoom.
The one we're looking at now?
Roger.
Yep.
But Argus has started moving, so.
That's good.
So if you give it a little squirt forward there, usually under the lasers is where I try and put it.
So we are at a depth of about 1,750 meters. You can follow that on our website, as well as additional data about the water temperature and
While you're
salinity.
waiting, Steve, if you come down to about 2 meters, you'll be able to get a better zoom on it. So as you come down, you have to go forward a bit.
It's actually near a pretty good looking rock.
I know,
a big looking rock.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like 35 centimeters.
It's a nice angular rock there.
I'm sure you could pick it up, but I think it's every bit as big as the one that didn't make it.
Might disturb the sponge.
40 centimeters, maybe?
Yeah.
It looks like a spikier Walteria than we've seen.
You probably have time if you want to set the vehicle down in the rocks there and try and square that thing up between the lasers and the bottom of the screen.
Okay.
They're thicker.
The techniques to keep coming forward as you come down, because the camera's typically looking at 45-ish. I like to get it in this view here.
It's way too big.
Yeah, you've got a lot more experience. I don't want to crash into it.
Well, so this camera here is looking out probably a meter or two in front of the vehicle.
Oh,
so
it's not straight. It's not straight down.
Kind of. It's straight down at the bumper, but out there is.
Right.
So if you, I like to put it on top of that screen when I land it.
Andrea?
You get a way better zoom. Like right now, I'll have to tilt up if you land
No, it's
there.
just a wedge of some sort. It's not actually a columnar joint.
That's a good look at the sponge. Thanks.
We're gonna set down here just a second. I'll give you a close up to
Okay.
push a little more down.
Okay.
Gabby will have to adjust the
Yep.
iris a little bit.
We're taking some of my training wheels off here.
It is a cool looking.
We've got, this is
Christmassy
beautiful.
sponge.
I've got some zoom if you want it.
Let's do it.
Sure.
Wow. I haven't seen one of these up close yet. It's amazing.
Could probably iris down a bit more.
Okay, thank you.
Most of these that we've seen are
Like
kind
there?
of very straight and columnar, but
like
this one has some bends in it.
Yeah,
You like what, sorry?
bends, and it just seems a little bit more bushy. All right. So Argus is moving, right?
Yep, it's probably time to go now.
It's super iridescent.
Nicely done, Steve. So then I'll float up and I'll watch that bubble cam as I'm going over to make sure I don't mow the
Roger.
thing down. But also you're 1.5 meters up now, so you can almost walk under the vehicle, so you're good.
Some big sponges.
You'll have the iris back up. Open the iris a bit for him, Gabby.
So we have about 1 more hour left here on our final watch of the expedition. We're looking for large, chunky, angular rocks.
So I would, if you want, you can click in your auto altitude at about 2 to 3 meters and then
And dense
go
and diverse
forward a little faster.
sponge and coral
Get
communities,
back
but
out.
you
Sorry,
occasionally
let's go
get
to
some nice specimens on their own.
Yeah, it seems like when we're in those dense sponge and coral communities, there's probably a lot of those little highlights that we're not seeing just because it's so dense that you can't really focus on those
Yeah.
tiny little anomalies.
Yeah, among the hemicoralia, the precious corals that we saw at Tamana, seamount, there were a lot of black corals down below them.
Okay.
So it's a pretty
Why-
wide variety of corals.
Why on the nav screen?
Kate, could you zoom out a little?
No.
Okay.
You're
In a second.
directly underneath
Okay.
it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just using this.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah.
Back in this area of sediment and manganese nodules. We do expect this dive to continue for 2 more watches as we head up this ridge. We are on Yymmdd seamount.
Bridge, nav.
Translates as strength.
Can we move 100 meters, bearing 180?
Thanks so much for joining us, wherever you're joining us from. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. We are taking your questions. We are seeing them on quite a bit of delay, so bear with us. But you can submit those questions on nautiluslive.org.
See some trails in the sediment. Probably sea cucumber or the some little lumps in the sediment too.
But I'm not seeing ripples.
No ripples. Very different from the other ridges that we've explored. Lots of sediment, very flat. It's like we're headed for another little local high, topographic high. Maybe a boulder up there.
Sorry, Emma, are you spotting something you want to look closer at?
I'm sorry, I was looking at the high pack, just where we're
Roger.
headed. And Nav, when we hit that that local high south of us, then maybe we go south. We'll do southeast again to start climbing that ridge.
Yeah, that makes sense. Head over up here.
Yep, and then go, yep. Drop a target there, and yeah, waypoint.
Up on the ridge, this ridge?
Yep. And another one on top of that. Oh, yep.
So we're getting a great question from a viewer here about the sediment. The sediment is such a different color from the rocks. Is it not made of the same material?
I think this is
Are
biogenous.
you looking at that rock?
Biogenous sediment raining down from above with the marine snow. So the remains of plankton of some sort.
Do you want to go back and look at something?
No, we're good.
It's a great question, though.
But do you want to see the thing circled there? Or are you happy to keep going?
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Just keep
Roger.
going.
I think what you circled there briefly was a crinoid, maybe stalked crinoid,
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
that purplish.
So we see these collections of sediment usually when we're in a more flat area. You can see on channel 3 our track and the topographic lines moving up towards this ridge. Every dive is different. We've been on 13 dives on this expedition, and this one is a rock and sediment dominated one, but it can change really quickly. We've seen some 12 and 16-hour dives that have different characters throughout, so stay tuned.
It's a big chunk.
besides the geological goals, one of the main goals of this expedition is to try to sort out where these dense sponge and coral communities form and where they don't form. There are some theories being floated on this ship. Sorry for the terrible pun, but we're still collecting this data to try to refine those ideas about the topography, the currents, the depth, all the different variables that go into creating habitats that are suitable for the biology that we've seen on some of our dives, but not seen on other ones. So thanks for your questions, viewers, about why this area is less populated with biology. That's what we all want to know as well.
How many?
Looking at the biology there on the, did you see what Andrew just circled?
Is that an anemone? Oh, maybe it's just an anemone.
Pretty sure. Yep.
Yeah, anemone.
Definitely. And a black coral next to it.
Bridge, Neff. Can we move 100 meters bearing 180?
Couple of buddies on a rock, middle of nowhere.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Are we set with those?
Yep.
It's either full, I keep it full, well, so go full wide. Yep, and then touch in past the vignette on the bottom and the slurp. And then that's how you're always driving. Yeah.
So we are seeing a few little critters here.
Like a Walteria.
And there's a
Sponge.
Brisingid. Is that a Brisingid sea star there? Or is that a...
Oh, not a Brisingid. That was a thin red one.
It's looking like sheet flow again. Oh, there's a fish in Argus.
Crinoids like it around here.
If you're watching at home, you have our quad stream. Here in the control van, we have many screens that we're all trying to look at and monitor for our various roles. I sometimes forget to look at that Argus view and look up, and there's a fish going by. Thanks for tuning in with your questions if you're just joining us. I notice a bit of a difference on the Argus view from yesterday. We did swap out that camera on Argus for a spare camera that was on board, so it does look a little different than what you might be used to if you're a longtime viewer, but we got our eye in the sky back after one day of an older model camera, so it's a little bit different than what you might be used to, but much better than what we had going on during yesterday's dive.
The wind's come up a bit, has it?
It's been between like 16 and 18 for the last, since we've gotten on watch.
Well,
Here, I can show you.
It's about as strong as we expected to get today.
I hope so.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So here's wind true from the weather station. Here's from the DP sensor. And I set it to 3 hours so you can see the trend over 3 hours. So the blue line is wind direction, and you have your degrees over here on the right-hand side from 0 to 360, and then knots on the left-hand side with the yellow line. You're very welcome.
There's a custom one in there called Weather Watch that defaults to 6 hours.
There's an unusual looking star or on the left, bottom left.
Sponge skeleton. A little bit less sediment here now and more rock.
Looks like there's a large sponge coming up in Argus.
Nice Iridogorgia. Couple of sponges. Yeah, maybe we're starting to see a change here as we get near this local high. Can we pan over to that large sponge on the right?
Yeah, Raj. I'd
Got like the barnacles or something on the rocks again.
Oh yeah, I think you're right. Okay,
Looks like it's kind of engulfing that rock.
thanks. That's a good look. We can keep moving. Oh, what's that color change?
Yeah, this sediment.
Can we adjust the
Yeah.
lighting, please?
copy that,
now.
Gabby.
What's that?
Iris.
Okay.
Aziz late.
Oh,
Can
you want more?
move 100
don't know.
meters
More or
bearing
less.
I was,
180.
I'm driving it. I didn't want to
Oh,
saturate.
okay. That's regular. It's the same sediment color. Yeah.
That's a line from my favorite movie, by the way. Aziz late. The Fifth Element.
We have do we want more looks at this?
No,
Yeah,
that's
go,
fine.
Go
That's
forward
fine.
a little. Here.
They said they're good on.
Yeah,
SPL
we're good.
then.
Well, you got to go forward anyways, right?
Roger.
That's your path.
I'm gonna go around it.
I'll go over it at 4.6 meters,
Yeah.
no problem.
Water's not so clear anymore.
So you'll have to light the afterburners there to get back out in front.
How many turtles is that?
So we're getting a question from a viewer about those of us who are disembarking after this expedition. What are we going back to as our day job? What's awaiting us after the cruise?
I'll be getting back to coaching the fencing team at the Naval Academy, getting them ready for the spring semester, although when I get back, they'll be getting ready for the Army-Navy game and then final exams, so not a lot of practices. I'll get a little break.
I'll be going back to my job at the Olympic Educational Service District in Bremerton, Washington, and working with teachers in schools on all things STEM and ed tech. So,
And you're going to be bringing back a wealth of knowledge from this cruise.
a wealth of knowledge, but also a wealth of questions too. I think that's one of the things about this is that I did learn some things, but I also learned to ask questions that I didn't even know to ask before. So really excited to get back to the teachers with all of these new questions and all these new connections too.
How long are, when are we leaving bottom for this dive, Emil?
We'll probably leave bottom around 10 a.m.
10 a.m., roger.
Maybe a little later if we're shallower than, let's see, we're going up to about 1600, I think, 1664. Want to be up by noon.
Up by noon.
That's noon Hawaii Standard Time. I'm going to leave it up to the viewers to work out what that is in your time zone.
I'll be going back to my job as an assistant professor at California State University, Long Beach.
Where you are known as the singing geologist?
No, I don't think they refer to me as that.
Do we need any more nodules collected?
I don't think so. I think, well, we have a lot of crusts on the rocks that we have.
Yeah.
And yeah, we got a scoop of nodules.
So what about you, Sarah? What will you be working on when you head back?
Well, I don't get off the ship until December 21st. I'm on the next
Lucky
expedition. And when I go, well, and then I go to Colorado for Christmas, and then I go to Wisconsin to my job at the Wisconsin State Geological and Natural History Survey.
Hey, Nav, let's start that southeast move.
Yeah, we can do that. Pilots, we're going to be changing bearing and moving uphill to the knoll.
Niskin?
Oh, yeah, this is a pretty dense area. Let's, or can we collect a Niskin bottle here?
Yeah, roger.
Yeah, this
You want to collect it on the fly or in this little...
yeah, in this cloud.
Altitude is good.
Okay. Steve, you want to... there's a button on there that's called Auto XY. Yeah, I can do it from here. You'll see it light up. Yeah. In theory, that should keep the vehicle stable.
Good catch, Sarah.
Then I'm going to... this rocker switch here will... that will bring the whole camera all the way back. And then if you move that stick to the left, oh, this button is...
Which Niskins are open?
The Niskin 4 is full, Dan.
So they've only done 4.
Only done 4 so far.
How about we go for 1?
Okay.
Do 1.
SPL. I got to count. Oh, he's going to grab it.
Come on. Really?
Okay, 3, 2, 1, Niskin. Uh-oh.
Did it go?
I didn't see it.
I didn't either.
1 is...
They had taken 1.
1 is tripped, so... Did I just trip it or did...
No, it was already tripped, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna... You guys still happy to pull 2 here? Or?
Yeah.
Pulling 2. Okay.
Did it go?
Yes, it did.
So you say 1 was tripped, huh?
Yeah.
It looks like 1 and 4 was tripped, so you can center your camera back up if you want there.
All right, maybe we got some of them. Looks like the ship's still moving south. Did they...
I'll
yeah, I
look
haven't
down at
halted
front of
the
the vehicle.
move yet. I need to touch base with the pilots about changing heading and so forth.
Okay.
You can change it
And we
your
did
will there, and then straighten it up, and then tilt up just a bit. Somewhere. Yeah, I can do that for you if you want to come out of Auto XY and press on.
So pilots, we're gonna alter our move and we'll be heading bearing 140.
Roger.
So bridge nav. Can you change your bearing to 140?
You'll want to boot scoot a bit there to get back out in front again.
Getting back into some rock.
Can we move 50 meters bearing 140?
Oh, whip. That's one of the branching bamboos, I think.
Is that just really dense nodules? What is
I
that?
think so.
Looks like it.
Yeah.
Come down and strafe the seabed there, Steve, on that flat black stuff. So I'll watch the bubble camera there. That'll tell you more accurately what the front of the vehicle's doing.
I haven't seen it this dense.
It almost looks like it's in the process of forming a crust on the right and then kind of more individual nodules on the left.
It's pebbly. Feel free to swing over to the left, to the southeast, kind of check out the
out the rocks.
The rocks, yeah.
Roger that.
If you want to learn more about our team, there are a couple ways to access that on the website to learn more about how we all got on Nautilus, how we all ended up here, and other work that we do in our lives. Oh, what's that in the bottom left corner? Can you swing down and to the left a little bit? Or something, your other left?
So
You can come to all stop so we can kind of reorient too.
Well, how we doing?
Well, it's just, I'm talking, or for the pilots, Herc is, I don't know, maybe 25 meters behind Argus, just so it can catch up and swing in front. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Bridge, Nav. All stop, please.
I'm getting pulled.
And then, so we're want to move, yeah.
Goes below. I don't know. It's behind
There's
us
like some orange round.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, what is that? Is that a retracted anemone?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's really interesting.
It doesn't look like the ones we've been seeing before. The base of it is smooth. The other ones had like polypy, bumpy looking things on them.
Is it possible to just get a good image of that? Zoom and everything? Or are we too far behind?
Oh, there's a lot of biology on this one little rock here.
Rhinoid.
Bridge, Nav.
Did you take snaps of that, Sarah?
I got some blurry
ones. Can you
ones.
hold ship, please?
Is that what you think that is, Emily? You think that's a retracted anemone?
I think, but yeah, I haven't seen one like that. It's worth getting a zoom.
I got no guesses.
Are you happy with that, Emma?
Yeah, I guess that'll have to do. Let's keep trucking.
Roger.
Yeah,
Let me see
so
you for a second.
Sure.
Let's get you back in the box here. Well, I've